You know, right before I start any of these videos, I try to tell myself, yeah, I know what's happening next. I remember. But I don't. As soon as I turn it on, I'm like, oh, right, I just recruited Shu. So Victor's like, did you get that strategist? And we're like, yeah, he promised he'll be here. He's not with us now. And then Shu walks in. Sassy boy alert. Telling Victor he should leave. Victor's key, dog. All right, so it's funny to think about horses in this game. Because, like, where did your horses go? You pushed these three steeds hard. Did you just, tell them, all right, go home? Because we also went to his house. There was clearly no stables. He said it was his three fastest steeds. Not only does he not have stables, apparently he has at least four horses. All right, and Shu's giving a little bit of a look at me, I'm the captain now speech, but not as mean, I guess. But he's basically saying I'm the guy. Everything I say is gonna work. Trust me. And Victor's like, I'm starting to see why he was banished, because he's just called Flick Blue Boy. Careful what you call me, but anyways, here's the information. 2,000 soldiers. A rickety old castle. Versus 20,000. And obviously that's really daunting, but Shu is going to adjust the math a little bit. So he's saying 2,000 soldiers may be enough. Which, if you walk around the castle, there's no one here. So it's not like everyone in the room represents 112 soldiers or something. Including Pilika. Okay, so he cut the number in half, saying that it's really 10,000 soldiers. And a third of them are South Window soldiers. How does that work? I understand taking them prisoner, but what, they're just going to show up and kill their allies because they're... I really don't know how that works, but still. If Shu's numbers is right, it's all of a sudden 5,000 versus 7,000. So it's a matter of these at least 3,000 South Window soldiers. Shu is going to tell Freed to go spread rumors that the South Window soldiers will be executed after the war. And in the meantime, we don't have any reinforcements, because where would they come from? The only real answer is Two Rivers. So, the plan is to ambush Solanji. How are we going to sneak around on a peninsula? So we're going to borrow some neighboring ships. Bolgan's all excited. But also you could tell him we're having soup for lunch, and he'd probably be excited about that. All right, so now everyone's excited. They're on board. They think they can win. Who's going to attack Solanji? Is it Victor or Flick? Nick Cage. Just got to say okay. Don't show any weakness. He's already calling him the key to defeating Luca Blight. He saw something special in this kid. All right, Freed, get out of here and your 112 soldiers. Hopefully they're stronger than you are. All right, so he's handpicking 300 soldiers, which he says that, but in reality, Nick Cage's unit is kind of weak. And this also drives me crazy. I wish, because later in the game, you can talk to Apple and shift your war units around, but you can't do that yet. And I don't see why not. It's not many people, but I'd still like to handpick soldiers. Shu says he's doing that, but then he kind of leaves you with no good secondary, generals or whatever we call them, subordinates. So this is early on, and Nami's like, why are we doing this? Didn't we live in a little Highland village? Highland's one of two little villages. Oh wait, I think I need to go back upstairs. That's right, stairs. I don't have an elevator yet. I'm not actually that mad about it. You have a chance to save here, which really you kind of have to. This fight isn't it isn't challenging, but at the same time, like it's almost like a tutorial style fight. I am gonna save it this away. So, anyways, it's not challenging. The only thing that's hard is like you can actually lose because Solanji is stronger than Nick Cage. You don't have to defeat him, but if you're reckless, then he could kill you. Colgan's the only one who's like, hey, let's use some strategy. And Solanji's like, are you kidding? We're just gonna slaughter everyone. Besides, it's just the South Window soldiers. And they're loyal to us. Alright, and it's weird because they talk about boats from neighboring villages, but then he talks about Nick Cage sneaking up. So I mentioned Templeton, I think in the last video. Yeah, definitely in the last video. Templeton has usage in the war. He's not awesome or anything, but it's still a thing. But Templeton's either in my group or no one's. Yeah, Templeton's in no one's group, and he adds 1 defense and has like some geographical bonus. Victor is stacked because he has, at this point of the game, the 2 best subordinate units. I mean, you could argue Psy, but I think Apple's better. I'd rather have Apple. Alright, so I'm in the spirit of sneaking around. I am going to sneak around. I could walk here, but Colgan's going to be like, oh, look, he's going to fire arrows, so. The only thing I'll give credit to Shu for, as far as like hand-picking units, is he did put, not Templeton, the little weirdo. You're using Fire Spear on South Window units while you blast fire out of your horse's ass? That's so annoying! Did Flick just miss everything in that meeting? Like, we're gonna turn the South Window units back to... whatever. Yeah, pretty soft unit. And Nanami adds, I think, +1 attack, +1 defense, maybe 2 defense. But the benefit of having Nanami as well as Tuda is that is 4 total repair cells. And in addition to Colgan coming, or sticking back, I was actually hoping he was going to advance, but that didn't happen. Yeah, let's go ahead and kill more South Window soldiers. Yeah, great job. Out of those like 3,000 or however many he calculated, that's about 1,000 of them that he just killed, so not awesome. So yeah, they're getting flanked. Solanji's like, where did they come from? And he's going to take care of the thorn in his behind, as he said. Oh, I think that might actually be the end of the... No, that's not the end of the fight. It's just the former states just getting excited by Freed Wise speech. This is our chance to take back our victory. Even though Flick just burned 1,000 people to death. So what I was talking about this being a possibility to lose is like Solanji gets a turn before I get a turn. So I could die here, you know what I'm saying, dog? I still have this extra worthless unit to go, but all I'm going to do is get him close to Colgan in case Colgan, like just as a temptation to Colgan effect, essentially. Man. Flick, you suck, dude. Later in the game, when Freed is, you can pick your units. I don't like that you can't set up Freed as a leader of his own unit. He's just a worthless secondary dude. Alright, sweet. I was actually kind of hoping Freed would get damaged, which is kind of stupid, but in reality, I'm going to probably use my Bright Shield here. I say probably because I'm going to have my smaller... Oh, yeah, that's a critical hit, baby! First time you get to see that. Sorry, so units like Shu and Apple, they have skills such as evade and critical. Oh my god. You have archery. Why did you engage in hand-to-hand combat? Flick is the LVP of this fight. Alright, anyways. Critical and evade. And if they say something before the fight, it'll say like evade or critical if you're lucky. And when that happens, you evade means you're not getting hurt. Critical means you're doing double damage. I'm going to use my repair self. I was talking about using Bright Shield, but that would have only been if one of my allies was hurt, because it heals me as well as surrounding allies. Oh, Flick is so frustrating. Whoa, I'm really glad I did repair self. And luckily, Solanji is an idiot. Woo! No, not Solanji, Colgan. He may have used his archery ability and taken me out and won this fight. But instead, he just decides to go hand-to-hand combat with a worthless unit. Alright, so I'm not going to attack again. I'm going to repair self. I could have moved and let this state army guy attack Solanji, but it's... Like, I didn't even hurt Colgan, so Solanji's even stronger, I think. I'll see in a second. He definitely should be, because Colgan's an archery unit. Freed, nothing exciting there. Yeah, defensive 9, actually, that's kind of high for an archery unit. Like, worthlessly high. But he likes to go melee anyways, like a dork. So, yeah, that was 9, where Solanji's 10. And Solanji's like, we're getting beat. And I've played this map before where, like, I'm on my last leg, like, just Victor is left in the north and just Nick Cage in the south, and they're like, they still have, like, 6 units, and they're like, we're gonna lose. And that's just, like, bad rolling of the dice or whatever. But, yeah, either way, as long as you last like X number of turns, you're gonna just win. Oh, there's everybody. I knew we had 3,000 guys. Even though it looks more like 50. So everyone's excited. Let's go to the Great Hall. I don't think it's necessary to do this. Yes, that's great. I think they're gonna ask me if I want to rearrange my party. Okay, no, they didn't do that. Okay, so it's probably closer to 100, but still. Each guy represents 20. That's how PlayStation RPG math works. Also, if you look at maps, it's also, like Nick Cage's walking unit is half the size of a village most of the time. Until he goes inside of it on the map. This is the young man who defeated the Highland Army. Pretty sure you're jumping the gun on that. Alright, and Shu's being the realist, like, hey, guys, this isn't over. We lost Muse. That's huge. That's devastating. If Canada was the strength of Highland, that'd be like we lost New York City. I don't know. That might not be a good metaphor, but that's what I'm going with. Can we fight the Highland Army? And it's like, well, not yet, but we need to get stronger. So Victor's like, oh, you're going to be the leader? And it's like, dog, I can't do it. I'm a genius. That's not exactly what he's saying, but it's a funny interpretation. All right, are we going to appeal to mayors without a leader? And she was like, dude, I have a leader in mind. Lord Nick Cage. Speaking of Lord Nick Cage, they're filming Con Air 2, and I'm very excited. I'm going to see it at least 4 times in theaters, because I saw the first one 4 times in theaters. I was like 12 or 13 at the time, and I snuck in 4 times. My sister came with me 3 of the times. After I saw it by myself, I came home and was like, Lauren, you have to see this movie! So we kept going to the movies. And it was at AMC for like a year. It was crazy. I kept checking the newspaper, and for the longest time, there was still like a Sunday showing, and I was like, all right, let's go again. Okay, they're all going to look to me for hope. Me? A leader? Which isn't like the confident answer, but in contrast, it is. Yeah. Yeah, if you throw a but out there, it doesn't sound confident, but this one's the more confident one. But it's too bad you couldn't name Luca Blight, because you could have made his name Sniffer, and then you would say, but Luca Blight. Instead he says, but Sniffer. Am I right? No, I'm not. All right, so yeah, he's saying, if I can help out, and they're saying, let's not decide right now. Yeah, I guess I picked answers that made me not sound confident, or I think it does this either way. So Victor's like, hey, meet me at the tavern, even though you're like 20. Okay, so do you really want the kind of power? Let's go hear about Grandpa Genkaku. So you have the option to fall asleep or to learn more about your grandfather, who was apparently pretty mysterious. You're not allowed in this room. Leave what to you? Standing here? You think I was going to stand there? This guard's an idiot. Or he's like the backup leader. I don't know. Like the vice president, if you will. Okay. Saving it here. And I'm actually going to call it because if I remember correctly, I'll get us to Grandpa Genkaku and then I'll stop because I think that's kind of long and it's worth the listen. So just, I'm trying to keep these like 20, maybe 25, and that wouldn't happen if I pump through this. All right, see you guys next time for Grandpa Genkaku's backstory while I just sit here and watch Victor drink like he's Thor in Ragnarok when Doctor Strange keeps refilling his beer. I think he just does it once, but still. Maybe Doctor Strange is wearing the invisibility cloak, and that's how he's doing this. Or he's just taking the tiniest sip ever. I don't know why I'm still speculating on this. See you guys next time.